Hi Marcelino. Finally got a bit of time to review some of the stories, so I'm just going to go through that quick. So just going through each of the stories, SuperAdmin creates a new organization. That's here under Organizations, Add New Organization, and enter the information and save. It's all looking good, so I'm going to mark that as done here. And then SuperAdmin creates new admin, and that had the admin has to be assigned to an org. So I've created a few of these, the users, and I've created the first three letters of these countries: Australia, Canada, England, and Indonesia. So add new user. They are a part of one of these organizations, and save. And that's all looking good as well, so we can check that off. Done. Admin edits org information. So here under a super user, when I click the organizations tab, no, this isn't a super user. This is the super user. When I click the organizations tab, I see the list of organizations, and I can edit Australia, for example, edit its information. But when I'm on the Indonesia user, logged in as an Indonesian admin, I click organizations, and it just goes straight to Indonesia. So that's good. Very good. A list of organizations with a submenu, but the admin edits their own organization, Indonesia, and it includes those things. So that is good. I'll mark that as done. The admin creates an article, and it's only visible on its own organization homepage. So this is under the blog. Here I've created two articles. Indonesia, they have Indo in them, just so I know that they're from Indonesia, and that's good. You've created it's by Indonesia. Show the organization there. And now if I go to the home page of this, is that what we called it? The organization homepage. So that is something that I think might be missing. So just to help specify some of these things here, I'm going to create a new task or two. Or maybe I have this already. No, I don't think this is in here anywhere. So the admin creates an article, and it's only visible on its own organization homepage. So what you're going to need here, if you haven't already, maybe you just need to tell me where to get to this. But we need an organization homepage. And I'll put in the details here. You're going to need a new organization attribute. So the name of that new org attribute will be slug, and that slug will go right in here, right under the title, so that when I type, if this was the slug, I would type in Indo as the slug, and if I saved that, then when I went to localhost 3000 Indo, that would then be the homepage for Indonesia. And if I change the slug to Indonesia, then if I go here, that would be the Indonesian homepage then. And what you can show on that homepage is just the list of articles that organization has chosen. So everything that is checked on this blog page. So the Indonesia. So if I check these 3 articles, 1, 2, 3, then those 3 should show up on the Indonesia homepage. And if I'm logged in as an admin from England, I can check a different set, and if I go to England slug, so localhost 3000 / whatever the slug is for England, then I will see only the articles that England has selected. So then this admin includes another orgs article on own page. Once you have the home pages created, then this is basically the story I was describing. When an admin checks articles from a different organization, so I include them, then all the ones included should show up on that organization's homepage. And then admin follows or unfollows a feed. So hopefully the description makes sense here, and you've got it part of the way there. When I go to the feeds, well, first off, when you create a new organization, you've done this well. It creates 2 feeds for each, and this is so England has an England and an England private. Now if I am logged in as an admin from Indonesia right now, and I choose to follow Australia, so right now I'm following England, Australia, and I should by default follow my own. Then now I shouldn't see any Canada articles there, or Australia private or England private. So if I go to the blog, I should see Indonesia, England, and Australia. And now if I go and stop following Australia, unfollow, so now I should only see England and Indonesia. So if I go to the blog, I should only see England and Indonesia. I shouldn't see these Australia ones showing up on my blog tab here if I haven't chosen to follow Australia. I'm not following that feed, so therefore none of their articles should show up on my blog. And then you are currently working on the full follow, full unfollow. So when that is complete, if I choose to full follow this organization, England, that means any new blog article that goes into this England feed will show up on my blog and automatically be included as well. So you'll see it checked here. I won't need to click to include it. I won't need to do this to click to include it. It will be already automatically included if a new article comes into the England feed. Okay, so you're working on the follow and unfollow, and the full follow and full unfull follow. The other task that is still here that was near the top, and I've just moved it down here, is the user submits a form. I am an organization and I want to join. So I don't know if you've looked at this at all, but we should have a form that I should put here. Use the refinery not refinery generated, Rails generate refinery form. And that's just like your training, creating the presentation, book a speaker or book a presentation forms. So that's the same thing. And they submit those forms, and then we will create the organizations based on user submissions of saying here an organization. And then you are also working on the option of don't recommend full follow. So I've added a paragraph in here just about what you're doing. So there's a private checkbox, and I see you guys are still getting that error, and I'm sorry I can't help you with that yet. I'll try to find some time on Wednesday to help, but if you guys can figure it out without me, that's great. So 3 of these tasks are, and we call them stories, development stories. So 3 of these stories are complete, and that's good. Going forward, Marcelino, if you could tell me when you think one of these is done. Like if you have the organization homepage done, then tell me that that's done so that I can go in and verify that everything is working correctly, and then I will check it off. So, and this should be like a celebration. Like when this should be your aim, is to get these stories completed. So as you feel that one is completed, let me know, and keep bothering me and telling me that it's done until I can look through it, and when I check it off, then it's good. We're getting through. That's progress that we're making. So yeah, please tell me when you feel like these stories are done. One more thing I want to note about the full follow is when you choose to full follow an organization, if I full follow Canada, this should only include the feed under in my private bucket. So in my private bucket, it should only include this feed. It should not have each article within this feed in my private bucket. It should only have a reference to the feed. That's what I should say. It should only have a reference to the feed in my private bucket, in my public bucket, not a reference to every article. Let me show you. So here I'm in the organization model, and the public bucket articles. This articles get moved into the public bucket articles only when I choose from the blog article section. When I include this article, that goes in my public bucket articles so that it shows up on my organization homepage, or removed from my public bucket articles and it won't show up there. But if I choose to go to the feeds and choose to follow or full follow Canada, that should not put all of the articles for Canada in my public bucket articles. It should put Canada in my public feeds. No, it shouldn't. If I include an article, it goes in my public bucket articles. And if I follow a feed, full follow a feed, it should go in my public bucket feeds. So there should actually be another public bucket feeds. So public bucket feeds, and that is so that when I follow a feed, when I choose to follow Canada, it doesn't go through every article in that feed. It just simply saves that feed is in my public bucket. So now when somebody goes to my Indonesia homepage, I just see every article in Canada's feed. And if I choose to unfull follow, then it will just remove that feed from the public bucket feeds, and now none of those articles will show up. That is how the full follow will work. Which means if someone chooses to full follow Canada, let's say, I do a full follow, except that's not quite working. So if I do a full follow for Canada, then every article from Canada will show up and be automatically included. Let's use a different example. Let's say I instead full follow England. So I've done a full follow for England. So all of England's articles, these two here, are both by England. They will both be automatically included as well because I did a full follow, and they will show up on my Indonesia. England's articles will show up on my Indonesia homepage. And now if I choose to uninclude, what has happened is England has gone into my public bucket feeds, and none of the articles are in my public bucket articles. But what we're going to need is instead of public bucket articles, it's public bucket article just have to think of a name. Let's use public instead of public bucket. Public bucket excluded articles. We'll do that. So if I have full followed England, then England's public bucket feeds will have England's public feed will be put into this public bucket feeds. But if I choose to uninclude that article from England, uninclude this article from England, then that article will go into the public bucket excluded articles. And that way you can full follow a feed, and all those articles will show up, but you have to check if those articles are not in this excluded articles so that they show up. Because if they're in this excluded articles, it means they have unincluded them, so they don't show up on the homepage. And if you have questions about this, please ask and I'll clarify, or maybe this is something that I will just have to do. So maybe you can leave the excluded articles out if you don't understand. But the important thing is the public bucket feeds is where you will place a feed that someone has done a full follow on. Okay, and I hope that is enough work for you to do for the next few days when I can check back again and give you some more direction. So please try to let me know when these stories are complete, and I'll have a look. Thank you very much, Marcelino. Have a good couple of days. Bye now.